Hey guys, I get so many questions over the past 2 years about my stay in Ireland, what studying abroad is like, also studying abroad at this specific university, and I'm just going to answer all of those questions once and for all in this video. Just as a little disclaimer, these are just my personal experiences and also what I remember of my experiences from 2 years ago, so not everything may be 100% correct. If you want reliable and official information, you should really go to the official site of the university or the official social media. Since I left there, I pretty much don't have anything to do with them anymore. I'm not, I don't know, some kind of official spokesperson. I just want to make that clear here. I'm just a study abroad student who stayed there for 4 months, who is now sharing her experiences with future study abroad students. Just wanted to make that clear. Let's get into the video. I tried to compile all of the questions that I got from previous videos, from Instagram, from DMs, and I also asked you guys on Instagram if you have some more questions, and I tried my best to compile them all together, put them in categories, and hopefully answer all of them, or at least as many as I can. So let's get started. How did you apply and how did you get a spot? So I personally applied for the Erasmus program, which is a European program to study abroad, and I applied through my home university. They have this partnership with Maynooth University. I think I handed in a motivational letter and a CV and things like that, and then my home university decided who was allowed for the scholarship, which I was one of the lucky ones who was. So it was rather my home university that allowed me to go there rather than Maynooth University themselves. What programs or classes do they offer? So this is one of the questions where I would suggest that you go to the official website. But from what I remember, they have classes in different fields such as engineering, sciences, social studies, modern languages, Celtic studies, and business and law and things like that. So kind of in every single niche that there typically is, they have classes and programs. But if you want specific information, you probably rather go to their official website, because I only took classes in the arts department, so for German and English. So I don't know a lot about all of the other programs and classes that they offer. What classes did you take and were they hard? So I took classes in the arts department, as I just said. So some were literature related, some were language related, some were media related. So these were kind of the classes that I took, because that's also what I study at my home university. But I don't think they were extremely hard or something like that. But something that I also think is really cool is they have those cultural heritage classes. So it's kind of a big module of all different kinds of classes that are related to Irish cultural heritage. And I think this is something that is really nice if you go to Ireland as a study abroad student, to really learn something about Irish culture and Irish history. So this is just one suggestion if you go there for the term abroad, not so much to do specific classes. So if you have the freedom to choose whatever you can, this is one of the things that I really liked. But I also feel like there were a lot more work than regular classes, just if you want to keep that in mind. But they were really cool. I could only take one, but it was really nice. Should I live on campus, in town, or with a host family? I cannot give you a concrete answer to this. All I can say is that I really enjoy living on campus, and I think it was the right option for me to live on campus, because you feel like you're so much part of this university life, because you're living literally just in the middle of it. But every kind of option has different advantages. I cannot give you an ultimate answer to that. It really depends on what you want, and it also depends on how lucky you are with everything. Like if you have sucky roommates, it may not be that great to live on campus. If you have a sucky host family, it may not be that great to live with a host family. If you have a sucky landlord, it may suck to live in town, but it really depends on being lucky and your personal preferences. But I personally really enjoyed living on campus. But one thing that I want to point out, be careful with scammers. Like, you're such an easy target if you've never been to that town, if you don't live in town, if you cannot just go and have a look at your apartment or your room. So be extremely careful with who you give your money to, so that you don't go there and find out that it was all a scam. Just as a little tip. How did you get a room on campus? My number one tip for that is be quick. They have this platform where you can sign up for a room. Beforehand, people already told me that you have to be extremely quick. Like, the moment they open up the registration for your rooms, you have to be there in order to get a room. Half an hour before that, I was sitting in front of there and just refreshing the page. So I was literally there from the first second on, and I didn't get a room at first. That's how quickly the rooms are are gone. But I still stayed there because I hope that someone may cancel their registration process or whatever. And it actually worked out. And I know from 2 other people that this worked out for them as well. So you should stay a while, even if you don't get a room immediately. You may be lucky. And also have a credit card. Some people didn't know that they need a credit card for this, and they got a room, went through the confirmation process, realized that they needed a credit card and that there's no other way to pay for this initial fee that you have to pay, and then their rooms were gone, which is so unfortunate, so annoying. So if you don't have a credit card, get a credit card if you want to live on campus. And also if you go abroad in general, credit cards are always really helpful. What's the laundry/food situation like on campus? I don't have that much experience when it comes to that because mostly I just cook for my own in my apartment, but all the apartments have kitchens in there, and actually really nice kitchens, to be honest, big kitchens. So there is that. I know that they have meal plans at university, but it just didn't work out for me because I think you can choose whether you want to have breakfast, lunch and dinner, or just one of the 3 or 2 of the 3 or all 3. But once you choose that, you have to pay no matter whether you get the meal or not, if I remember that correctly, and that just didn't work out for me because I've been traveling a lot. Sometimes I wasn't there in the morning, sometimes I wasn't there at noon, sometimes I wasn't there in the evening. Like I didn't have a real routine. It may make a lot of more sense if you actually like study there for your whole degree and you kind of have more of an everyday life there. I'm not sure if I would suggest it if you go abroad, but I don't know, check out the meal plans and see if it works for you. It just didn't work for me. I really like the food at the dining halls. They have different dining halls with different meals and different offers and different prices. Some of the meals were kind of expensive, like more restaurant prices. In university in Germany, or at least at my university, I'm used to getting super cheap meals. Like you get a full-blown meal for, I don't know, 3 euros. I was kind of used to that, so I was surprised that some of the meals were more restaurant prices, but they were also restaurant quality, so you can't complain. But they always had some kind of student offers that were cheaper, and I usually got them. But yeah, the food is really good. You have to pay attention to the prices, and if you like the current student offer meals that are there. But apart from that, the food was really good. And the laundry situation, it really depends on where you live. I lived in the courtyard apartments, and we had 1 laundry room for the entire courtyard complex. And I was in the unlucky situation that 2 of I think 4 or 5 washing machines broke during the time there, and it took a while to get them fixed. So there were always a lot of people trying to get their laundry done with the lack of 2 washing machines. So it was always kind of busy there, but if you find the right times to go there, you can be really lucky. Like for me, I woke up really early, then did my laundry and went back to bed. So you really have to see what times are the busiest and then avoid those times and you'll be fine. But I also know that some apartments, they have less washing machines, but they have an individual washing room for each house. But don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if that was really the case. Did you like Ireland as a country to go abroad to? My answer is definitely yes. I really fell in love with the country altogether, so obviously my answer is going to be yes. But what I like about Ireland as a study abroad country is that it's so easy to get around the country with bus trips and train connections and things like that. I mean, it's a rather small country in comparison to, I don't know, Canada or the United States. So it is a lot easier to get around the country and to see different sides of the country, different parts of the country. And then also for international students, like outside of Europe. Like I knew a lot of American students who went to Ireland, but then also traveled Europe while they were there. And also I just like the mentality in Ireland. People are really open and friendly. People will literally just come up to you and talk to you, even if they don't know you, like just on a train or whatever. And I think this is really nice if you go to a place where you don't know anyone, to have people that have a mentality of being really open and friendly. So yes, I think Ireland is a really nice country to go abroad to. But I may be a little bit biased when it comes to that. Is life in town boring since it's so small? My home university is in the city, and most universities I know are in cities, so it was really uncommon to go to this tiny town and have a literal university there. But I also kind of like that. It made it really cozy and you kind of felt at home in this entire town, and I didn't think it was boring at all. There were always a lot of parties going on. They have bars in town. There's always something going on campus or in town, so it was never boring. And you're also kind of stuck there with most of the other students, so everyone just tried their best to have a good time in in this tiny town. And then also they have a lot of societies on campus. Like there is literally something for everyone out there. That is like my number one tip if you don't want to be bored on campus. Go to societies. How can I meet people and make friends if I don't know anyone? I am a very socially anxious person. I'm a very shy person, but I knew when I went there that I have to get way out of my comfort zone if I don't want to be lonely. And I'm so happy that I had this mindset going into this, because if I would have just been my normal self, my shy self, I would have had a really hard time there. Go up to your flatmates, go up to people in class, go up to people in your societies. You have to go out of your own way in order to make friends if you don't know anyone. Which sounds scary if you are like me, but to be honest, it really wasn't. It was just like that initial moment where I was like, oh my god, I can't just go up to people and talk to them. But once you're over that, it will get a lot easier, and it was the best decision I could take. And again, societies, go maybe to parties if you're into parties. Just do something in your free time socially. And there are probably also Facebook groups and things like that if you're not into, for example, parties. But go out of your way to make friends. It's scary at first, but I promise you it will be worth it. Was it scary, and did you get homesick? Beforehand, yes, it was extremely scary. I never left my home for more than just a week, and suddenly I had to fly to a country that I didn't know, more or less on my own, with just another girl from my university who I didn't know at that point. Going to Ireland was the first time I ever stepped a foot into an airplane, but looking back at it, it wasn't scary at all. It felt like home so quickly, and you just get into your life so quickly, at least I did. And if you manage to keep yourself occupied, if you plan to do things, if you try to see the country or just the town, I get homesick so easily, and I was barely homesick when I was there, which I was so surprised about. But yeah, if you try your best to make your stay worth it, then I'm sure you will not get homesick that easily. My last question is, would you do it again? My answer is both yes and no. I would suggest to everyone to do that. I loved my time there. I loved to go to this specific university, not sponsored. They didn't ask me to say that. I swear this is my honest opinion. But I loved going there. I loved my time there, and I finally had this college experience that I missed so much at my home university. But no, I personally wouldn't go there again, for the sole reason that I have so many great memories, and I don't want those memories to be overshadowed by the expectations I would have towards a new trip. So I have all those positive memories, and probably also some of them are very idealized. I also had some really bad times in Ireland. Like, I hurt my ankle so bad. I just had to lay in bed for a while, couldn't do anything, could barely walk. And the nurse on campus said in her entire career she hasn't seen an ankle that was strained as bad as mine. So I had some bad experiences going there, and my memories are probably kind of idealized because I just like the stay all together. And I'm afraid if I would ever go there again and try to repeat this time, I would just be very disappointed because I would have such big expectations. So I'm just going to keep my memories, keep them as nice as they are, and just leave it at that. My time there is over, but I would suggest it to everyone who wasn't there yet. So yeah. Anyways, these were all the questions that you guys had. I hope this video hasn't gotten too long. It probably has because I have filmed so much. This will probably finally be my last Maynooth University video. I didn't think that I would still be making one of those videos like 2 years after my stay, but that's just what study abroad students do, constantly speak about their stay abroad. So anyways, I hope this video answers all of the questions that you might have, and I'm just going to refer everyone to this specific video, which is great because I barely reply to my DMs, so people always have to wait like 2 months before I reply. So having such a video is probably a good idea. If you have anything to add to this list, if you went there on your study abroad, or if you studied abroad in general at any other university, you can let us know your tips in the comments down below. That's not what I usually say. Wait a second. You can let us know in the comments down below. There we go. And also my general question, have you ever done a study abroad program or anything like that? And where did you go? How did you like it? What were your experiences like? You can let us know that in general as well in the comments down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I hope I'm gonna see you in the next one. Goodbye. I'm also wearing my Maynooth hoodie for this very special occasion, which it is still a very vital part of my wardrobe, which is interesting because I don't even own any shirt of my home university.